Well, a lot of people think that breeding hybrids is wrong, and hybrids are born deformed and genetically messed up, and they don't have as long a lifespan as purebred animals. And part of the research that we do with the scientists that we're working with here is to prove exactly the opposite, which has actually been proved already. We work with Texas A&M University scientists, genetics, and we have proven actually that genetically hybrid tigers, tigons, ligers, and ligers are actually genetically stronger than a purebred tiger or a purebred lion. But the coolest thing that all of this has proved is genetically all big cats are genetically the same. It's the only reason that they can breed and produce healthy offspring. Now, we had just yesterday America's very first trio of ligers born here in Wynnewood, Oklahoma, residing at the GW Zoo. And the cats do belong to me. But we had a male lion and a female liger actually produce 3 extraordinary healthy baby female ligers. The only other ligers born to know of is out of Russia at a zoo in Russia, which had 2 litters. So here now at the GW Zoo, we house the world's first ligers, which is a white male tiger with a female liger that produced the world's very first ligers. And now we hold a record of producing America's first set of liger babies. So all of this broke down in a nutshell. The animal rights people love to raise money and love to con the general public, believing that white tigers are inbred and genetically and crossbred animals are unhealthy and everything like that. Now, the funny part of all this is one of the largest speakers in the animal rights organizations against white tigers actually took part in the study with Texas A&M University and gave blood from their white tigers that they have at their facility, which in turn proved exactly opposite of what they've been screaming, and that is white tigers are inbred, because genetically and DNA testing, all of the white tigers in this study, none of them were inbred. So it's a fascinating issue. A lot of people disagree with it. A lot of people agree with it. It just depends on what your beliefs are. But in order to get new species in the world, do you think that the world started with just a certain species of animals and we were supposed to just stop there? This is how new species evolve, even in the wild, is crossbred animals and new species and so on and so on. Unfortunately, there's not enough room in the wild anymore for these animals to do this in the wild. So in captive breeding programs is the only way that we can introduce new species to the world. Okay, so you wouldn't just throw an adult lion with an adult tiger and expect them to breed. This is an extremely long process, and this is why people don't do it very much. It's because it takes anywhere from 4 to 6 years in order to get all of this to happen, because you have to raise a baby lion with a baby liger, or a baby tiger with a baby lion, vice versa. It depends on if you're trying to get tigons or ligers or ligers or whatever. But you have to raise the babies with each other, so that way they grow up to know each other, and then they breed a lot easier. That is why we have such a success here, because it's not about money or photo babies or trying to sell these things. It's about research and trying to come up with genetically proven points of crossbred animals. So we waited 4 years for this lion to grow up to be sexually mature, along with the liger female to grow up to be sexually mature. And really, I didn't expect this to happen. We kind of let out false hopes of hoping that she was pregnant, because she was actually almost 3 weeks overdue of her birthday. So yesterday, a record-breaking event happened here at our facility. And that is she gave birth to the very first baby liger. So in order to save the baby liger, because of the temperatures and hypothermia and everything else, we had to intervene and pull the baby away from mom and put it into the nursery. She only had one at the time, and 24 hours later, another record-breaking event happened. She gave birth to 3 more baby ligers, 2 more females, and a beautiful male baby. Unfortunately, mom laid on the baby male and killed it. And unfortunately, the same people that are fighting against hybrids, public contact, and everything else with the USDA that proposed a new USDA law against being able to pull baby lions, tigers, and primates before their natural weaning age. Unfortunately, what this is going to do is create more deaths inside the cages from unexperienced moms laying on the babies, parents eating the babies, and the baby's not getting the proper nutrition in case mom doesn't give enough milk. The sad part is the cubs are going to be the ones to pay. If we would not have pulled all 4 of these baby ligers, this record-breaking event probably would never have happened here in America, because she probably would have ended up laying on all 4 of the babies before it was over with. So intervention of taking the cubs away from mom sometimes is the only way to save the species and to help create another species. Well, baby ligers are actually born, they pretty much look just like a baby lion or a baby liger. They're tan with dark spots. And it's gonna be pretty much just as exciting for us as it is for you to see what these things look like when they're full grown and they lose their spots or they keep some of their spots. Because until now, nobody's seen a full-grown liger in America. Being that we are back to 3/4 lion, and the size of the lion and the size of the liger, and genetically they lose their epic gene once they're crossbred. So this thing does no longer have an epic gene to govern its growth. So it should turn out to be just as big as the liger and much larger than a liger. Okay, a lot of people might wonder, was this artificially inseminated? Did we do something to intervene in the breeding process? Absolutely not. All we done was raise a baby lion and a baby liger up together. 4.5 years later, they naturally bred. They did the process all by themselves, and we waited 106 days during the gestation process to see if she took. And 3 weeks late, guess what happened? A record-breaking event right here in America. We gave birth to America's first baby ligers.